Hi, my name is Joe Miller, the author of Advanced Deer Hunting, and today we're going to talk about scouting. Scouting is extremely important in deer hunting. Okay, you have 3 times during the season to scout. You have pre-rut, you have rut, and you have post-rut. So, what is pre-rut and rut and post-rut? Rut is the time when the bucks are chasing the does and they're going to mate with them. That's normally a month long, 28 days long. Not all the does come into estrus or into heat at the same time. So it's an exciting time to be out in the woods. There's usually a 1-week peak period during this time, and that's when you want to be out in the woods, taking time off from work. Pre-rut is when the bucks are marking their territory. They're telling the other bucks, stay out of my territory, this is my section of the woods, and hey does, I'm over here. So when rut comes along, and then bam, I'm going to be here for you. And then post-rut is after rut, obviously, and that's where the deer are hungry. They've been running around, they've been mating, now it's time to eat and replenish their strength. Got to scout differently in each 3 period, okay? It's very important. First of all, we use game cameras. Game cameras are real important. Game cameras can show you the day or night where the bucks are. Where do you put your game camera? I did a video about this earlier. Basically, you want it on that trail, that hot trail, either on a rub line or it could be a scrape line, but you want it on the trail leading to that. Why is that? If you put your game camera for scouting on, say, a feeder, what are you going to get? You're going to get squirrels, raccoons, hogs, and some deer. And you're going to get a million pictures. And that really doesn't tell you what's out there. And by the way, the bucks normally don't hit your feeders. They go around it. So yeah, you want to get those areas between the feeding and the bedding areas. So let's talk about pre-rut scouting. Pre-rut scouting, again, the bucks are out there walking around for about 3 weeks prior to rut. They're marking their territory. This is the time we bow hunt. Could be October down here. Could be down here in South Texas. Could be November. Other places in the U.S. So know your state's regulations. When is bow hunting? When's rifle season? So when you're scouting for bow hunting, you're looking for a rub. Now we walk over here, and for instructional purposes, we made a rub over here, and this is what we're talking about. You can see where the buck rubbed the tree, and he rubbed his antlers on the tree. He's marking his territory. So what we want to do is find another rub, because this is where we call a rub line. So what we do is we take a piece of tape while we're scouting, and temporarily we are going to put it here as a point of reference. That way we don't have to look for the rub later on. Now we're going to walk. The rub line could be that way, this way, that way, that way. We're going to find it. We're going to walk at least 100 yards and find where the other rubs are. Once we find the rub line, and again, when we find a rub, we mark it with a piece of tape, deer tape. Then we can see at a distance, aha, this is where the buck is traveling. Let's say he's going this way. Now we look at the wind and see with the direction of the wind, if it's predominantly, say, western wind or northern wind or southern, whatever, that's where we're going to set up our deer stand. Use the wind to your advantage. So find a good hunting spot, a good tree to put your deer stand there. It could either be a portable climber, it could be a permanent or say a portable metal stand. And we'll talk about deer stands in the next video. But you want to use the wind, so you want the rub line in front of you, the wind blowing towards you, and that way you're higher up on a hill, just a little bit, and the deer stand you're real tall, then you can shoot down on them 20 to 30 yards away from that rub line. The next period we scout is during the rut. During the rut is when we look for scrapes. What are scrapes? Scrapes are where the buck will scrape the ground, and he will pee in it. And he'll also rub his eye around the eye here. He'll rub the corner of the eye on a branch. the doe will come by and they will pee on it, and it's like they're communicating with each other. I'm looking for somebody, I'm a buck, I'm in the area, I'm looking for does who are ready to mate. And the doe will pee on it, buck will come by and smell it and say, yes, she is ready to mate, she's in estrus, she's in heat, and he will go looking for her. Normally during rut, bucks will visit scrapes in the evening. Okay, not in the pre-rut. They'll walk around during the day, early morning, late evening, afternoon, doing the rubs. But for scrapes, it's mainly a nighttime thing. Therefore, you want to hunt the scrape area, again, as far away as possible, because now you're probably into rifle season. So you want to get as far away from it as you can with getting a good shot. And again, use the wind to your advantage and hunt between the scrape area where you see the scrapes and then also where the bedding area is. So if you hunt between that, that's where you might catch a good buck, either going there, leaving the scrape area early in the morning and going to the bedding area, or leaving the bedding area, late in the afternoon and checking out the scrape area. So that's scouting during the rut. Scouting during post-rut is very, very different. Okay, so if you're going to be hunting during post-rut, now the deer are hungry. And what are we looking for? We're not looking for rubs. All the rubs are now all old and worn out looking on the trees. And the scrapes have leaves in them. They're not being used anymore. But what's being used? Deer trails. Look for a hot deer trail. What's a hot deer trail? Well, as you can see, here's a deer trail right here. Okay? And it goes that way. And if it has deer prints on it and deer poop on it, that's a hot deer trail. That's where you should be hunting. So try to hunt, when you're scouting, try to find a place between the feeding area and the bedding area. And that's where you want to hunt, because that way they're traveling from one point to another point along this hot deer trail. Again, use the wind to your advantage. Normally in post-rut it's cold, extremely cold, whether you're up north or down south. So make sure you dress warmly for this. It gets pretty miserable. But that's when some really big bucks can expose themselves. All right, let's talk about that trophy buck. The trophy buck, your game camera is going to pick it up, probably during the pre-rut, maybe during the rut. But if it picks up in the pre-rut, let's say it picks it up in those woods over there, okay? Where do you hunt for that trophy buck? Okay, you want to put during bow season, you want to get in a stand, like I said, where the wind, use the wind to your advantage. And then you have another stand, you want a different stand in a different area. Okay, why is that? If you hunt that stand over there all the time, like every third day or fourth day, or guess what? You're going to leave your scent in the area. The deer's going to feel the hunting pressure. That's not good. So that's why you have at least 2 stands to hunt from. And because you don't want to overhunt an area. But a trophy buck can feel that. Okay, they're smart. Now, once that happens, okay, let's say you don't get them in bow season. Now it's rifle season. When do you go over there and hunt that area? Okay, let's say your game camera's picking them up every 4th or 5th day. Okay, when do you hunt that area? Hunt it during the peak of rut. There's a 1-week period of rut. That's where he's going to make a mistake, and he's going to be after some doe. And when that happens, that's when you can get that trophy buck. So during that 1-week period, that's the time to be in that stand over there and get him. And of course, post-rut, if you're like after that trophy buck, again, you want the hot deer trail between the feeding area and the bedding area. Get between there, use the wind to your advantage, and nail him. So again, scouting. Scouting is very fun. Remember to once you're done with finding your rubs, scrapes, or hot deer trail, take your marker away, because we don't want to leave this out in the woods. Again, we don't want other hunters or other people who even don't hunt, whoever, to see your markers there, your tape. We use tacks. Put tacks in the tree. They illuminate at night, early in the morning, or late in the evening. And that way, it shows a lighted path when you see the illuminated tacks in the trees, either to your deer stand or from your deer stand to your vehicle. And that's how we mark our areas. All right, well, I hope this helped you out. My name is Joe Miller, the author of Advanced Deer Hunting. Go to the website, get the book, and again, my pleasure. God bless, and good hunting.